I've been to Booth Circuit, Formula One racing in 2011, and but I've not gone on the track. Today I'll be going on the track. This I'm in Indonesia, Lombok. That's where the podium happens. I'm in the pit lane. This is the start and finish lane. This is where the bikes would be, in the standing position, and they would take off like this. How beautiful this is going to. I'm going to be walking on the track. I've been in the race, in the sense, watching it, but not on the track. Okay, today we're going to have some drone shots and all that. I'm just enjoying. Look at this. It's beautiful. Bye.
The slowest riders start from way back. Okay, now there are two on each side. You see that? That's where they start off. Okay, and some people would be starting from the pit lane just in case they've had issues and all that. This is where I am, and there are five red lights which will start with, and then comes green. There are so many things that I know I didn't know about it, but now that I'm on the track, I learned so much which I will want to share with you. I'm an avid follower of MotoGP and Formula One. I watch it no matter where in the world I am. Okay, but what I understood here was totally different. This is the longest straight that this track has, and the total length of this track is 4.3 kilometers. See, this is where the garages is going to be. All the bikes in the garages is going to be there. Teams on top. That's where the podium is. On the other side here, I've come early in the morning. This is where the stand is, the grandstand that they talk about it. Okay, where they would want to see the champion or the winner of the race. So this is where we take off. We're going to go around the lap and just see it. My drone is going to go around 60 kilometers per hour, but the top speed probably will be around 350 kilometers. Unimaginable, because now that I'm on the track, I can just think about where in the world will they break, because there are everybody competing and everybody is more or less like equal. Probably you can say that not more than one second difference between the top guy and the last guy as such. So to be in the front is much more beneficial. But even then, the rest of the people don't keep up, especially when it comes to MotoGP. Okay, and I'm not even talking about the 250cc or the 125cc. I'm talking about MotoGP. The pit lane on the left will merge with the main track. Do you see this on the left hand side, the red and the white? They call it curbs. Okay, they will be on the extreme left and they will slide. They'll go on a knee bend turn here. I wish I had a FPV drone, and then they will be close to this. They will not want to get onto that because they've got rumble strips. Basically it's like a what do you call, and then they will switch over to the left. Okay, so you can literally make out, what cornering, how they will be positioning themselves. They don't have rear view mirror. Please understand that. You see these white color markers there. They will mention 50 kilometers, 50 meters, 100 meters, and all that. Okay, and a short turn like this, 50 meters is too much. Imagine they're taking this turn probably at 80 kilometers per hour, 80 kilometers per hour, where we are allowed to go on the roads at 80 kilometers per hour. They are taking turns at 80 kilometers, sometimes even at 120, 130, depending on the track and all that. Look on the left, the beautiful sunrise which is happening behind the hills. And this is beautiful place. In Lombok they have actually built it. They have not even built it in Bali. Okay, because of the location that they wanted. And what did I learn was, see, if it rains, the water is going to be on the track. Okay, this is uphill actually, so they'll be climbing up the hill. Look at this, Marcus. So they will have the riders don't even have the time to even look at the speed on their monitors, on the dashboard. They will be taking the turn and then clipping on, sitting up straight and then going for it. If you haven't been watching, MotoGP and all that, you should start watching, because when they take the turn, the elbow and the knee, where they're bending, will be touching the floor. That is how much they will bend. And when the tire is in contact with the floor, they say that it is as thin as the credit card strip. Is that thin? That is the only point of contact which is going to be on the floor. They will imagine the kind of grip they would have. And I'm doing it 60. This is 60. It looks very slow for you, but believe me, when you actually see this, if you're in the stands, you get to see them how many laps they've got. That many times only they can see it, because they will fly past. Look at this beauty. Sometimes if I was a rider, I would be wondering whether to look at the road or look at the beauty and such. You can get on the hill. You don't have to pay for the tickets and get into the thing, and you can stand on top and then view it. October is when this race happens here. Okay, and probably that mountain, that what you see, will be full of people, I think. I'm not too sure if they'll let us fly the drone. If they let us fly the drone, the next year in October, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here to capture the video and look at this. And on the left hand side, you if you see that, they call it gravel, but here it's not gravel. It's basically stones. I lost the signal. Okay, because I'm not too sure where the drone is. I have to point it in that direction. If I take it up higher, then I get the signal, but it's not higher because I'm trying to stay as close as possible to the track. Look at this. There's a resort on top on the right. Do you see that? Imagine being there, having a beer or so, and then looking in the racetrack, and then cheering, and chillowing and all that. Wow, that's good. Again, I lost the signal. That's unfortunate, but don't worry. I mean, you got me. Okay, I do all the hard work. Tomorrow, today I did walk around the whole track. I understood things, and tomorrow I'm going to come down. I'm going to bring my bike and ride it here. You can hire a bike here, super bikes and all that, and but maximum speed that you can do is 80. Okay, I have never ridden a super bike, so I'm not too sure if I'll take it, but I will definitely want to go on this track by bike and then see if I can do a knee bend turn. Okay, whether my knee touches or not, whether I go on the floor or not, I don't care. I will want to take that. You see the dark patches on the road. That is how exactly they will take everybody will take that. If you go off it, you're in the gravel. You're in the gravel. I'm just wondering if there's a rescue team which has to come to rescue them. Where in the world will they enter is what I thought about. I didn't see any entry points as such, but just in case, let's say, look on the left. There's a break. You see that? Okay, on the barricade. If your bike stops, you'll be pushed away from there. But just in case there's a major crash, if F1 is going to be raced here, where in the world will the trucks come to take off the the car, the debris? I'm not too sure. And I didn't even see the openings for the marshals, to come in and pick up the debris and all that stuff. I didn't see it. We're coming close to the end of the lap, and you take that hairpin bend, literally a hairpin bend, and then turn around. That's where the start and finish line, is going to come in. Look at this, yeah. If I had an FPV drone, I would actually tilt my drone, and then as if I'm literally riding the bike. I would have done that. Imagine, when they're racing at that speed, okay, taking, corners at great speed, the heart rate must be pounding. Okay, I see on TV, but my heart doesn't pound, at all. But literally, if you're there, if you're riding it, I just imagine now what their lifestyle will be. The whole world will be cheering for them. 24 or 40 people who are riding. Left hand side is where the pit lane opens. You can go off into the pit lane, change the tires and all that, just in case if it rains, or you want to fill fuel, and you can do that. This turn that you take, that's where the start and finish line is. Okay, see, it took that long for us to travel, at 60 kilometers per hour. But I will show you from a top angle and see that you will not believe that how well they have designed it. That you will not believe that it's is this 4.3 kilometers? You will question yourself. You'll question yourself. There is a gap between, on the left hand side. That's where they'll hold the markers and say that you're so far ahead of people, or so behind. That's one lap for you. That's one lap for you. Right? Yeah. Okay, your finish line would have ended. So I'll tell you, finish line and start line are two different things here, which I didn't even know about. I thought where you start is where you end. No, 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 no. Okay, that's where the bond is. You need to see the bond. And in the last 17 days that I'm actually trying to reform myself. I was fat. I'm still fat, but I've started shaping up. I've really started. I wanted to jog. I wanted to jog around the track, but unfortunately, I was carrying the drone. That was a big issue. Big issue. Yeah, I didn't want to damage it. Look. He looks smart. The hero looks smart. I think he can enter one of the Kannada movies. I think he can actually. Look at him. He looks tall, but I'm just 5'7". Yeah, that's what happens. See, when you start having peace of mind, you could do things that you always wanted. But in India, I never found the peace. I'm telling you, it's Russian hush, Russian hush, Russian hush. I really, if you ask me, I don't want to come back. I love my country, but the way it is going, I don't want to come back. Okay, there are better things to do in life, and before life goes away, I would want to see the world as such. It's going to be 50 days, 51 days now since I have come to this place, Lombok. I'm happy here. I'm happy. I don't want to go out anywhere. I don't want to see any more islands. I mean, if I can get to settle down here, I will definitely settle down here. It's so beautiful. Look at this, yar. The top view shot you will want. Look at this. This is where starts, and that's where the first corner comes in. Okay, you need to count the number of corners. Okay, the gravel, I don't know if I mentioned it, the gravel is not like sand, it's literally small pebbles. So if you go off the track, if we don't have a right gear, I'm telling, look at this, where it is right next to the ocean. Tilt up the camera, bro. Look at this, how beautiful this is. What you're seeing is 4.3 kilometers. You can't imagine, right? It's 4.3, it is 4.3 kilometers. Okay, and it doesn't cost much, 50,000 just for an entry. Suppose you want to ride the bike, and they give you bikes for hire. You can ride with the gears and all that, like this. 150,000. Come, see you.